immediately start so that we don't waste time. There is a lot of sound over here. There is some work going on. So you will hear a lot of drilling sound. Yes. Ranjan, who is sharing the screen?
Mummy.
Okay. And what about the rest of them who have not done the presentation? You understand the two tools? One is presentation, which is we have been taking, और जो रह गए हैं उन जैसे रिहान ने नहीं किया है, श्रेयांश, how many of you have not done till now? I'll just read out the names. Devang is left. Na Devang, how are you now? आपकी health कैसी बेटा?
Ma'am, I'm okay now.
Okay, good, great. Okay. Yes, Shreyansh is left. Giridhar is left.
Ma'am, I am ready.
Okay, you're ready. Good. That actually, no, I just want to tell you one thing that nowadays we are having the assessment of listening and speaking for classes 9 to 12. Okay, so maybe one of your periods is taken by someone else and have an arrangement. If you see that you get got in my period arrangement, that means I am taking that listening assessment, listening and speaking. Yesterday we have had it for class 10th, and on Monday we'll be having it for class 12th. So like this we have to do for all of them. And only two teachers are there, Chandrapal sir and me. Okay, so we are doing it.
Saira ma'am.
Shreya, Sainam, Sainam. Okay, good. You and Vivek are also ready because I'll be putting mark. अभी तक पार्थ ने नहीं बताया कि when is he doing it? Is he ready or not? Parth is again not there. Who is a friend of Parth?
Yes, ma'am.
Akshat, can you just ring him up personally and tell him that ma'am is waiting in the class as almost all the students have given their topics and this he hasn't yet given.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am, can I leave the
after
meeting?
yes, yes, yes. Okay, yes, sorry for the disturbance, Pranjal. Now you may begin.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Today, me and Pranjal are going to present you about our supplementary chapter 6, our supplementary book. It so happened, chapter 6, the fight. So, Pranjal gets first we start by chanting Omkar thrice. So, Pranjal gets started.
So for the Omkar, everyone join your hand and close your eyes and get ready for it. Om.
Now everyone get ready for study.
Saira, ma'am.
We start with the reading the chapter and understand it line by line. So for it. The Fight, Chapter 8, English Lesson. The Fight Class 8 English, it's a happen book, Lesson 6, detailed explanation of the lesson along with the meaning of difficult words. So first, it is the introduction that the lesson, The Fight by Ruskin Bond tells us a tale about two young boys who fight in the beginning regarding who owns the possession of the pool in the forest. Once they get tired and exhausted, they decide to continue their fight the next day. The following day, both of them, someone end up becoming great friends who were willing to help each other in in learning and becoming a better version of themselves. So it is the summary. Who wants to read the summary?
You don't ask, you just decide and you tell the name of the person. Like give Pooja the chance.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. The lesson begins by introducing us to a young boy named Ranji, who had recently moved to Raipur. He did not have any friends there, and his school had also not begun. It was the peak of summer at that time, and he used to roam around forests in his vest and shirt. It was on one such hot day that he caught sight of a pool in the forest. The water in the pool was so clear that one could even see the bottom of it covered with smooth round pebbles. The pool was being fed by a small stream of water that emerged up out of a cluster of rocks. In the monsoon, however, the stream would be rushing, coming down like a waterfall. But during summers, the rocks somehow managed to keep the pool intact, unlike the pools in plains that would dry up. Ranji jumped in the pool without hesitation as he was used to swimming alone or with his friends when he had lived with his parents in a thirsty town in the middle of the Rajputana desert. There he had seen only the sticky, muddy pools in which buffaloes rolled in. Thus he jumped into the water and his body moved flexibly as it was free of any fat. He came there again following day to get some relief from the scorching heat. Once he swam in it for a while, he rested on the smooth yellow rocks under the shade of sal trees. Suddenly his eyes fell upon a stranger who was looking at him from a distance. He was taller than him, older too, thickest and had a broad nose and thick red lips. Although Ranji extended a friendly offer towards him to come and swim along, the other boy's tone was quite hostile. He told Ranji that it was his pool and Ranji had come there uninvited. He exclaimed himself to be a warrior. Ranji, on the other hand, exclaimed that he was a fighter. Both of them ended up in a violent fight. But after 5 minutes of Friend's unscientific struggle, neither boy emerged victorious. Their bodies having with exhaustion, they stood back from each other, making tremendous efforts to speak. All they could could say was repeat that I am a warrior, and I am a
Giridhar, your
fighter.
turn. Ranji,
Suddenly, the warrior got an
ask the summary.
inspiration, and they both
Giridhar, you can stop reading. Giridhar, May I
Yes,
state?
ma'am.
Yeah, yeah, there is a, now you start, you continue from where Pooja left. Suddenly the warrior got an inspiration.
Suddenly, the warrior got an instruction, and they both de- decided on continuously continue fight the next day. As Ranjan reached home, it became difficult for him to
It is Ranji.
explain the cut and
It is
bushes and
Ranji.
on his face, legs, face, leg, and arms. It was clearly evident, evident that he had been involved in as you as you violent fight. His mother instructed up him to stay indoor for the rest of the day, but somehow he managed to slip out in evening eh, to go to the bazaar. There he found solace in the
Solace.
solace in a bottle of vividly colored lemonade and sweet jalebis. As he finished him lemon lemonade, his eyes
Lemonade. What is lemonade?
full
Anyone?
lem-
मैम
मैम
नींबू
नींबू
पानी।
पानी।
नींबू पानी को इंग्लिश में लेमनेड कहते हैं। ओके, गुड। कंटिन्यू विद।
his eyes full upon his approaching arms. An enemy. At first he wanted to turn his head and look away. 1 second instant he wanted to throw, throw the lemonade bottle at him, but he realized and stood his ground as he looked at the other boys ang- angrily. Next day, all through Ranji felt weak and stiff from the previous day fight. He could not refuse the challenge. It would mean that he sud- uh, surrendered. He was well aware that with his physical constitution condition, he would and anyway end up losing the fight. But then he still had a show show up
ओके गिरधर।
half hoping
गिरधर
argue.
गिरधर नाउ अक्षत रीड।
क्या
अक्षत
Yes.
नाउ यू कैन रीड।
From where?
इट वुड मीन दैट
Okay. It won't mean that he
Surrendered.
Angel Akshat left it.
Quickly say some other name. And especially those
Kr-
who don't do the reading.
Now Krishna read.
Krishna,
कृष्णा
Krishna,
तो फेवरेट है, वो आते हैं क्लास में। कृष्णा,
Ma'am,
स्टार्ट रीडिंग।
yes. Ma'am, from where?
From where? Good morning.
It would mean that he surrendered. He was well aware that with his physical condition, he would anyway end up his losing the fight. But then he still had to show up, half hoping that the warrior must have forgotten about the fight. Ranji went to the pool. His expectations are cruised when he saw the opponent rubbing oil on his body. The
Krishna, what is
other,
his expectations were? What is his word?
ma'am,
No, only he will say, Krishna.
crushed,
His expectations were
crushed.
crushed. Yes, good.
The pool, not wanting to submit the condition to the conditions laid down by the opponents. Ranji called the boy towards his side of the pool. The other boy provoked him. Thus Ranji took out the vest, dived into the water and cut through it like a knife, leaving the stranger's mouth open with amazement. The stranger asked Ranji to teach him how to dive. Ranji willingly helped him, despite the other boy's not so good attempt at diving. Ranji did not discourage him and showed him how to do it. This time, when the other boy waited for him to show up on the surface of the water, Ranji circled around him underwater and came out from behind him. The other boy was surprised to know that Ranji could even swim underwater. He was inclined towards trying it himself, but when he tried, he thought that he had successfully been under the water, but actually his bottom was above the surface, just as it happens in case of ducks. He asked Ranji to come to the pool every day and teach him how to dive and swim underwater. In return, he promised to help Nikki Ranji become a pahalwan. Both of them shared their names and agreed that the pool belonged to both them, and no one else could be use it. Ranji smiled in the end, knowing that he had concluded the day. Ranji, the fight lesson and
Wait. So this is all the summary. Now it is the first paragraph of our book. So everyone open the book and I want Rudraksh to read it.
The fight lesson and explanation. Ranji has been less than a month in Rajpur when when he discovered the pool in the forest. It was a height of summer, and his schools had not yet opened. And having as yet made no friends in his semi-hill station, he wandered about a good deal by himself in, into the hills and forests that stretched away interminably on all sides of the town. It was hot, very hot, at that time of the year, and Ranji walked about in his vest and shorts, his brown feet white with the chalky dust that flew up from the ground. The earth was parched, the grass brown, the tree listless, hardly stem, steaming, waiting for a cool wind or a refreshing shower of rain. 1 minute.
Okay. Now these are the word meanings. Wandered, meaning walk or move in a leisurely or aimless way, interminably, endlessly,
Pranjal, it is
far.
wandered. Wandered. Wander होता है इधर उधर फिरना. लेजरली मतलब
Yes,
ऐसे ही जैसे
ma'am.
फालतू में घूमते रहते हैं ना, उसको कहते हैं वेयर आर यू वॉन्डरिंग. When we were young, our teachers
Yes.
used to say, when they used to see us in the corridor, where are you wandering? मतलब कहाँ घूम रहे हो ऐसे ही फालतू. Okay,
Yes,
yes.
ma'am. And then listless, meaning lacking energy or enthusiasm. So this is the meaning of whole first paragraph. It had not even been a month since Ranji came to Rajpur and he had already discovered the pool that was there in the forest. Summer was at its peak and the schools were still closed. Ranji hadn't made any friends in the semi-hill station, so he used to roam around along in the hills and the forest that extended endlessly on all sides of the town. It was extremely hot at that time of the year, which is why Ranji went out in his vest and shorts. As he walked on the ground, his brown feet turned white with the chalky dust that flew from the ground. The earth was dried out with the heat, the grass had turned brown, and the trees were spritless as they waited for a chilly wind and a shower that would revive them. So now the second paragraph. So, so
Give
mm,
Nikunj Parth the chance.
Nikunj read.
It was on such a day, a hot, tired day, that Ranji found the pool in the forest. The water had a gentle translucency, and you could see the smooth, round pebbles at the bottom of the pool. A small stream emerged from a cluster of rocks to feed the pool. During the monsoon, this stream would be a gushing torrent cascading down from the hills, but during the summer it was barely a trickle.
Okay. So now the word meaning. So translucency meaning clarity or possible to see through. Emerged meaning move out of or away from something and become visible. Cluster meaning a group of similar things positioned closely together. Gushing meaning exaggeratedly enthusiastic. Torrent meaning rushing stream of water. Cascading meaning coming down like a waterfall, or trickle meaning weak or thin flow of water. Now, what is it written in the second paragraph? That on one such hot and tearing day, Ranji discovered the pool in the forest. The water was so clear that one could see the bottom of the pool covered with small round pebbles. The pool got its water from a small stream that was coming from the cluster of rocks. In the monsoon season, the same stream of water used to become unstoppable as it came down from the hills like a waterfall, but during the summer season, it was just a thin flow of water. So now, Parth, read the third paragraph.
The rocks, however, held the water in the pool, and it did not dry up like the pools in the plains. When Ranji saw the pool, he did not hesitate to get into it. He had often gone swimming alone or with friends. When he had lived with his parents in a thirsty town in the middle of the Rajputana desert, there he had known only sickly, muddy pools where buffaloes wallowed and women washed clothes. He had never seen a pool like this, so clean and cool and inviting. He leaped into the water, His limbs were supple, free of any fat, and his dark body glistened in patches of sunlit water.
Okay. Now the word meaning. Uh, Beloved means rolled about in mud or dirty water. Leapt meaning jumped, or supple meaning
Blistered, what is
bending.
blistered? Ranjan,
Yes,
Devang, what
ma'am.
is blistered?
Yes,
There's
ma'am.
one word called blistered. Blistered, the previous paragraph. Show that slide again. Yes, in the last
In this,
sentence, blistered in patches. Yes, what is the meaning of blistered?
um, shine with a sparkling light.
Yes, shine. आपने देखा होगा पानी के ऊपर ऐसे shine होता है. When the
Yes,
sunlight
ma'am.
falls, it shines over the water.
So now read what is
Akshat,
written
read.
in the third paragraph that I am reading. Despite the reduced flow of water in the stream in the summer season, the rocks didn't let the pool dry up like it happens in the plain by holding the water in it. Upon seeing the pool, Raji didn't think twice before getting into it. He knew how to swim as he used to go swimming with his friends or sometimes even along where he lived earlier with his parents. It was a thirsty town in the center of the Rajputana desert. Back there, he had only seen sticky pools that were filled with mud. Buffaloes used to roll themselves in it, whereas women washed clothes. It was the first time that he had seen a pool so clean, cool, and attractive. Thus, he jumped into the water. He was loose limbed and flexible. He did not have any extra fat on his body, and as he swam in the pool, his brown body glowed in the sunlit water. Now, mm,
Now, Akshat, read.
hmm,
Yes. The next day he came again to quench his body in the cool waters of the forest pool. He was there for almost an hour, sliding in and out of the limpid green water, or lying stretched out on the smooth yellow rocks in the shade of brown-leaved trees. It was while he lay thus that he noticed another boy standing a little distance away, staring at him in a rather hostile manner. The other boy was a little older than Ranji, taller, thickest, with a broad nose and thick red lips. He had only just noticed Ranji, and when Ranji did not say anything, the other called out, "What are you doing here, Mister?" Ranji, uh, who was prepared to be friendly, was taken aback at the hostility of the other's tone. "I am swimming," he replied. "Why don't you join me? I always swim alone," said the other. "This is my pool. I did not invited you here." The
okay.
strangers. Okay.
So now there are word meanings. So, quench meaning cool his body, limpid meaning of a liquid, completely clear and transparent, sal trees, a North Indian tree that yield hard, durable timber and damaged resin, hostile meaning showing or feeling opposition or dislike, unfriendly, thickset meaning stout, solidly built, taken aback meaning surprised, hostility meaning ill will or
And
enmity.
एनिमिटी ओके थिक थिक सेट आई एम जस्ट एक्सप्लेनिंग यू थिक सेट मींस जैसे आपकी कोई चीज आपने जैसे दही जमाई है योर मदर हैज सेट द कर्ड एंड इट हैज कम आउट टू बी थिक तो उसको कहोगे इट इज अ वेरी थिक सेट कर्ड मतलब अच्छी गाढ़ी है
Yes,
हियर इट इज
ma'am.
सॉलिडली बिल्ट मतलब वो जो चीज है नॉर्मल से कहीं ज्यादा सॉलिड हो गई इज थिक सेट
Now, Ranji visited the pool again the next day to relax his body in its cool waters. From for almost an hour he moved smoothly in and out of the clear green water and stretched himself out on the smooth yellow rocks that were under the shade of the broad-leaved sal trees. As he was relaxing on the rock, his attention was caught by a boy standing at some distance. As his gaze was fixed upon Ranji in an unfriendly manner, he seemed a little older than Ranji. He had quite a solidly built body and a wide nose with bulky red lips. He had also seen Ranji only then and upon not hearing anything from his side, the boy spoke up and asked Ranji what he was doing there. Ranji, on the other hand, was expecting to make a new friend, but he was quite surprised by the bitterness of the other boy. Ranji replied and told him that he was swimming. He further extended the boy and offered to join him. The boy rudely told him that he always swam along in the pool that he claimed to own. He told Ranji that he had came here uninvited. No. Devang, tell who is reading.
Okay, Pranjal. Now, Rudraksh.
Rudraksh
From where?
is already done the reading. You can give chance to girls also.
Okay, ma'am.
Rishi is
Now,
there, Monica.
now Akshita read.
The stranger strode up to Ranji, who still sat on the rock, and planting his broad feet firmly on the sand, said, as though this would settle the matter once and for all, don't you know I am a warrior? I do not take replies from villagers like you. So you like to fight with villagers, said Ranji. Well, I am not a villager. I am a fighter. I am a warrior. I am a fighter. They had reached an impasse. One had said he was a warrior, the other has proclaimed himself a fighter. There was not a little else that could be said.
Okay. Now, this is time of word meaning. Now, strode meaning past of stride, mm, walk with long decisive steps in a specified direction. Impasse meaning allow, also pronounced impasse, deadlock or place or position from which there is no way out. Proclaimed meaning announced officially, make something clear. So now the strange boy marched towards Ranji, who was still resting on the rock. Upon reaching where Ranji sat, he turned with broad feet on the ground to look tough, and in order to settle the matter for once and for all, he told Ranji that he was a warrior who didn't listen to villagers like him. In response to his unfriendly and rude remark, Ranji asked him if he liked the fighting with villagers instead. He also clarified that he is not a villager but a fighter instead. I am a warrior, said the stranger. I am a fighter, said Ranji. They both found themselves at no conclusion from where no progress seemed possible. They continued making it clear to each other that one was a fighter and other was a warrior. They were left with nothing much to say. Now, who is reading? Devang?
Now Khushi read.
You understand that I am a warrior, said the stranger, feeling that perhaps this information had not penetrated Ranji's head. I have heard you say, "Is there time?" replied
Kushi,
Ranji.
Kushi, the word is penetrated in the second line.
Okay, ma'am.
Information had not penetrated Ranji's head. Penetrated होता है अंदर तक घुस जाना. Okay, continue.
Then why are you not running away? I am waiting for you to run away. I will have to beat you, said the stranger, assuming a wallet attitude, showing Ranji the palm of his hand. I am waiting to see you do it, said Ranji. You will see me do it, said the other boy.
Okay, so now word meaning penetrated meaning gone through into. So the stranger kept on repeating that he was a warrior, as if he had not already made it clear enough for Ranji. Ranji replied that he has heard him say that thrice. The stranger then asked him why he is not running away. Ranji responded that he had been waiting for him to run away instead. In an aggressive tone, the stranger, as he showed Ranji the palm of his hand, told him that he will make to beat him up. Ranji did not step back and told him that he was waiting for that moment. The other boy warned him that he would rather see him to do it.
Now Abhyasha read.
Ranji waited. The other boy made a strange hissing sound. They stared each other in the eye for almost a minute. Then the warrior slapped Ranji across the face with all the force he could muster. Ranji staggered, feeling quite dizzy. There were thick red finger marks on his cheek. "There you are!" exclaimed his assailant. "Will you be off now?" For answer, Ranji swung his arm up and pushed a hard, bony fist into the other's face.
Okay, now the word meaning. Hissing, meaning to make a long S sound. Muster, meaning here used. Collect or rather. Staggered, meaning felt weak, unsteady due to the blow. Dizzy, meaning having or involving a sensation of spinning around and losing one's balance. Assailant, meaning the person who attacks, her enemy, adversary. Bony, meaning of a person or a part of a body so thin that the bones can be seen. Now, Ranji
Now
held back and waited for the old boy to act. The stranger, however, made a weird hissing sound to try and scatter Ranji. Both of them looked into each other's eyes for nearly a minute. The warrior initiated the fight by summoning all its strength into slapping Ranji on his face. Feeling unsteady, Ranji almost lost his balance and felt a sensation that he was spinning around as a result of a slap. Thick red fingers marks formed on Ranji's cheeks. The other boy asked Ranji if he would leave now. As a reply, Ranji raised his arm up to punch him in the face with his strong bony fist.
Okay, listen, Pranjal, how much is left? Pranjal and Devang, how much is left?
Ma'am, so many things are left, ma'am.
Okay, it's taking a lot of time. We'll do one thing, you continue, okay, and another 10 minutes it will be
Yes,
over.
ma'am. Ma'am, ma'am, another 10 minutes, ma'am. Hopefully.
How much? How much more time, Devang?
So much time.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. Of so much time.
Nee, 10 minutes are enough?